Hello everyone, Happy New Year, even though this will not be the first New Year vlog. This is the first vlog of me getting back into work and routine. It's January 6th and I'm logging on to work for the first time in a week, but even though I worked last Monday, no one else was really working that I work with, and I was just in my groove coding, so it honestly didn't feel like work. But I've had a really nice 2 weeks off for the holidays. I've read so many books. Only completed one puzzle. We started another, but it's a really hard Zelda puzzle that's kind of like duotone and with incredibly small pieces, so I just got frustrated and was like, I'm not working on this right now. So it's been super restful and lovely, and even though there's a part of me that would love to still be on vacation, I am looking forward to sort of getting back into things. So work-wise today, I have no meetings, which is great, and I'm going to be doing a couple of things today. So I have a bunch of emails I need to respond to related to conferences for this year. I need to come up with some notes because I'm recording a podcast tomorrow. In terms of project management work, I need to list out everything that's continuing into this year or that is starting this year that I know I'm going to be assigned to, and confirm the status, where we're at, customers happy, and then make sure everything is set up in terms of like hours reporting and all of that. So should be pretty chill. I think the podcast recording notes are probably going to take the longest, and then I will probably dive into more code today and sort of ease my way back into work. Some of the social stuff I manage for work probably won't kick off until next week because those things depend on engineers actually doing things and landing PRs. So I have nothing to really report that I'm aware of for this week, but I will go into GitHub and double check. And then my other priorities for the first couple months in this new year are these 2 websites I need to build. I've designed them and now I need to build them. And I think that The first one I'm working on is going fine, and then I haven't started the second one. And then that's all in terms of like full-time job. Part-time, not part-time, but like side project wise, I know I have at least 2 things that I want to focus on for the first part of the year. One is an actual educational resource based on my book. Second is a more social gathering type community building thing. I have that website basically designed, but I don't have any socials or anything for it, and I haven't really announced it, and I need to figure out some of the back end things and how that will work in terms of like ticketing and just ensuring that it's worth my time and worth everyone's time. I haven't been spending too much time on that one. I just built a website and have a general idea, but I need to start building out socials and evangelizing that. And then there's my newsletter. So I will pick up my Web Witch Weekly newsletter again this week and start doing that. So I have a busy week. I'm just looking at my work email. Now, there's not too much. I've sort of been checking in on chat, and I expect today and tomorrow to be fairly quiet. So, I love when my calendar isn't synced. The email client I use is sometimes a little bit frustrating in terms of calendar syncing. So, figure that out. And I annoyingly don't know. My calendar is being annoying, and I don't know if I have a meeting tomorrow or Wednesday, and if it's Wednesday, I have a conflict. Just trying to decide how to tackle things, and I think starting with email is the best way to go, and then diving into everything else. So, oh, and now we've got all sorts of invites for the new year. All right, January 6th is the start of the new year. All right, let's get to it. Good morning, everyone. It is once again freezing, and I have a day full of meetings, so out on a walk with a Vogue, and we're gonna go feed the birds. Good morning, lovelies. I'm really sad this morning looking at all of my socials and seeing what's happening in LA. Just devastating. Non-stop doom. Did this do anything? Oh, kind of. Oh. Hey. Okay, heatless curls for the win. It's -5 degrees outside. It is 24 Celsius. No, sorry, not 24 Celsius. 24 Fahrenheit, -5 Celsius. And I don't know if Vogue's gonna get a walk this morning because that's very cold. Might have to wait for the afternoon because that's just a little too intense. I'm absolutely battered. I'm very excited for the weekend. I haven't really been vlogging much this week. I am obsessed with this. Oh my god. Trying to ease back into work has been a lot when you're still in that slow mode. I'm gonna make coffee. Jay got up and went to the gym. I'm so proud of him. I'm gonna make coffee and then log on, and then I have an appointment this afternoon. I am quite thrilled about this. But yeah, I've just been trying to take it slow to ease back into the new year this week. I did go to a beginner Pilates performer class on Wednesday, and that was really good, so I signed up for another one next week, and then managed to get my newsletter out and read a bit, but I'm sad because I don't have 5 hours a day to read. I mean, I could make time, like, by not sleeping, but I need to sleep, so... Okay, coffee time. I think folks like, where are you? But she got me up at 4 a.m. to take her out, so she can wait. We had a lovely dinner at the Plow at Bolnhorst. Wait, Bolnhurst? Some very English name that I cannot pronounce. Really good food. I am gonna go collapse on the couch now. Oh goodness, hello lovelies, hello from very, very frosty England. It's already approaching the middle of January. I'm not okay with how quickly time is going. I have attempted to make it a slow week back into work. I feel like with the first of the year and everyone coming back from the holidays, there can be so much just chaos and we need to do this and we need to do that and da 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 da. And I'm just like trying to not let other people's urgency sweep me off my feet as well, because then that affects me negatively and I don't get anything done. So I have tried to protect my peace this week and just sort of roll with it, and then make note of things that are urgent but not actually. Just kind of go with that and let that. And so just going with the flow and making sure I've noted things down, and then have that inform my to-do list for next week. Because this last week everyone was getting back from holidays, and some people are starting new projects, and just like getting all the admin set up from a project management standpoint. There was a ton of that, just like spreadsheets and making sure projects are set up so people can track their hours. And I listed out all the projects that I am a PM or partial PM on, and didn't quite realize how many, but I don't have full PM duties on some of those things. So did all that, and then on Friday managed to have time to do some more website development for one of the projects. So I feel so nice, and I've really been paying attention to how I feel when I'm working on certain things, and when I'm doing like code and design, I am at a different level of peace than when I am doing PM things. That being said, the design and code stuff I'm doing is probably less stressful because I don't have a typical client. So just sort of weighing those things. With the new year, and last year I was just feeling so sort of drab, and I know I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, but I just feel like a good chunk of my wardrobe isn't serving me anymore, and so it feels like it was very much old stuff, old Seattle stuff, and some of it I will still keep, but I've decided I'm going to go through and get rid of some things. And that being said, I have also ordered some things that I really like and I am looking forward to styling. First off, I was perusing Revolve for clothes, and there were a couple things that I really liked. One was from All Saints, and then one was from this brand called Essentiel Antwerp, which I'd never heard of before. And when I added everything to my cart, I was like, this seems really expensive. I don't know what Revolve is doing with their USD to British sterling conversion, but the All Saints sweater, I went and looked at its original price point was £169, and it was listed for 278 sterling pounds on the Revolve website. And I was like, okay. And then I went and did some more research on the Essentiel Antwerp sweater cardigan that I was looking at, and it was also marked up ridiculously, and I ended up canceling my order, didn't even finish my order, and I ended up placing a order directly through Essentiel Antwerp. One, because they were having a sale, so the thing that I wanted was even cheaper, but I also didn't, like, I'd never known of this brand, and quite a few things spoke to me, and I'm like really excited to style them. So I'll show you what I got in a minute, but I don't know, with the Revolve thing makes me super wary now, just ordering from the UK. I don't know if there's something that I'm missing or why things were marked up so highly. I find it a little bit baffling. So just double check if you're ordering from outside the US, I guess double check the brands that you want to shop from, because that ended up saving me quite a bit of money. It was just a little bit ridiculous in my mind. So that being said, let me show you what I got from Essentiel Antwerp. So I actually wore this last night when Jay and I went on a little date night. We went to a lovely little fine dining pub not that far from us, but out in the country. And super cute, incredible food. I would really like to go back. We didn't order, so I discovered that they do steak. So I'm actually really excited to go back at some point and try their steaks, but we wanted to try some of the other dishes like highlighted on their menu. So anyway, I got this amazing sparkle sweater. Super oversized and chunky, so I ended up rolling up the sleeves on it to give it an interesting shape, and then tucked in the front. But love this, thought this was super fun. And then I'm in love with this sort of like, I haven't taken the tag off yet, but this sort of like dark mustard color. I actually love yellow and green on me, so I'm super excited because I know exactly what I want to pair this with. I have a couple things I can pair it with, but love this. This is the cardigan that I was eyeing on Revolve, and I'm so glad I sized down to an extra small because it looked like it was oversized, and it definitely is. And again, have a super cute styling idea for this. I wanted to wear this last night, but I don't have any tights, and the skirt, it was just too cold. Skirt and this, so cute in my mind, but I don't have any tights. So I'm going to do a little try on video later with how I would style each of these. And then I haven't seen Wicked. I don't really have a desire to. However, these pants I am obsessed with, and they do remind me of Wicked, like the Wicked color scheme. I did end up buying some hemming tape because these are too long for me, but again, I'm obsessed. And so I'm also waiting for another order from COS, C-O-S, with some like basics and essentials, because I have some really old like black t-shirts, or not t-shirts, but like just black strappy tops to sort of go under things that are just old and honestly need to go. So I bought some nicer quality essentials, and I'll do a clear out. I think I'm going to list some things on Depop because Poshmark isn't a thing here, I'm pretty sure. And I think Depop ships worldwide, whereas Poshmark doesn't. But I'm going to list some things. I do have another pile of things I know I'm going to get rid of and try and sell. Selling some of the nicer things, like I have some Thakun? Why doesn't that sound right? I have some nicer like Reformation, Thakun, and mid-level designer stuff that I will sell, and then quite a bit of my like H&M, all of that is in a bag ready to be donated. So just trying to do like a clear out and rediscover my style, because I used to love getting dressed so much and I really miss that. And I'm just, yes, there will be days where I am in yoga pants and a sweatshirt, but I would really like to mix it up so not every day is like that, especially working from home. So trying to rediscover my style and joy of getting dressed, because I really miss that creative outlet a lot. So that's sort of what I'm trying to bring into the new year. And then I did decide to do, speaking of like what I want from this year, I did make a in and out list that I will share with you guys. Because I'm already feeling like I have some pending conference asks from people, and some of them I'm gonna be honest, like, I have given over 30 talks. The amount of time and effort that goes into delivering a talk and writing, researching a half-hour talk is astronomical for me. I'm sure some people maybe approach it with less rigor or research. Last year I was giving 2 different conference talks, and one of them I enjoyed giving much more than the other. And so I don't want to be forced into, or I don't want to say yes to events that don't fit the type of talk that I like to give. And I'm not going to write a new talk for your event unless it is in the sphere of like what I want to be talking about and can give it more than once. Because for me, I've done this, I've been doing this for 5 years now. Yep, 5 years. And I do enjoy giving talks and going to conferences and doing that whole thing, but the type of talk I like to give and want to give has definitely evolved. And yes, there can be technical and design-based talks, but there is a new like ethical side of technology that I am starting to explore, and I have been really enjoying telling that story. So all that to say, leading into my in for 2025, saying no to things, and that means saying no to events that give me pause, just based on how, just, you know what, I don't have to give a reason. If I don't want to do something, I can say no, and being okay with that. That is what's in for 2025. And then radical self-care and rest. And to me, this means not scrolling, no doom scrolling, avoiding the internet, taking care of me, whether that's reading. I am already on book 5. Well, I've got 2. I've got books 5 and 6 in progress for 2025 already. That's how much reading I've been doing. And just like making space for that, because that brings me so much joy. And so just taking time to take care of myself, take my makeup off at night, apply a lip mask, just like what's gonna make me feel better. So really focusing on that for 2025. And then supporting local and shopping local. I really, really want more independent shops to pop up, and I want them to survive and thrive, because I think that's what makes a town center more enjoyable to go visit. And I think Bedford is so ripe with opportunity for independence, but you need people to come and shop to keep them alive. Like, there's a bread shop, and they have more than bread. They have like a whole kitchen and specialty food type thing going on, but they were primarily a baker, and they've had to pause baking their bread, and it makes me sad. I don't want to see shops like that fail. And one of my dreams is to have my own little independent witchy shop, and I could totally see it in the center of Bedford. So I want to see those shops thrive, and that is why I always go to the plant shop, Nelly Mosa, and buy a plant or a pot or something like every 2 or 3 months, or a candle, because I want those things to survive. So supporting local and shopping local. And the next thing on my in list is making time for making dinner. I feel like Jay and I have gone through a whole thing this last year in trying to find a meal prep service that works for us. And Jay really likes Simmer. And I don't mind it either, but my tastes change and I'm sort of at the whim of my stomach so often. And I just cannot do the meal prep like delivery every single night. It doesn't bring me joy. I also love cooking. So trying to find balance in like, well, what are the nights that it's just gonna be hard for me to carve time to make dinner, and what are the nights that I can take time to do that, and sort of split it between meal prep, delivery, and then actually making things that I want to make. Today I'm planning to make some French onion soup because it's been in my brain for weeks and I don't know why, but it's what's calling to me, so I'm going to do that later. Next on the in list is more date nights. I think we've started out strong, had a date night last night. There's some like workshops around for like terrarium building, and then there's a coffee roastery that does classes, and just spending more time doing that so that Jay and I, because we both work from home, it is so easy to just be like, okay, we're gonna stay in tonight, and going out and doing things, even if it's just to a coffee shop, is so good. And being in a different space than your home really is so important. So I think we've started out strong. I'm hoping to keep that momentum going. So I'm going to be looking for more things like what we did last night because it was so lovely. Next thing on the in list for me is exploring the UK. I think I've mentioned this in like previous videos. Didn't really explore much. Like I go to London and that's about it. And this year, like, I want to go to the Lake District. I want to go over to Cambridge. I would like to go to Oxford. Even the Peak District. Like, I want to go on some hikes. I miss hiking. And so, carving time out for that is super, like, I want to know where I live. And that's one of the things I miss about Seattle. Like, that just tears at me is not going out to the mountains. I miss the mountains, and I know there are mountains here in the UK, you just need to drive to them, and I really miss being an hour's drive from some incredible nature, but I know I'm an hour's drive from some probably incredible things. So getting out and seeing more of where I live. And then finally, for 2025, the last thing that's in for me is Pilates. I went to my first reformer Pilates class last week, and that is like the sort of environment that I'm looking for. Everyone was super friendly, all in it together, dedicated space, group workout. And then that being said, my bar class did move into like a new permanent location that I haven't been at yet. So I'm not switching between two different places. So I'll be super curious to see what she's done to the space there and if we'll actually have a bar, which would be really cool. And then hopefully that will help me be more active and sort of stick to my health goals. That's what's in for 2025, and then what's out? Negative self-talk. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Also out, scarcity mindset. We are full of abundance and need to remember that. So, the other thing that's out for me is following people who don't inspire me. I found myself in this trap last year of following people on like YouTube and TikTok, and I was following them, I think, out of, honestly, jealousy, because when you're watching someone who comes from an incredibly wealthy family, run around the world with all of her handbags, and you don't see them like worry about money or anything. And then following people who don't sort of share the same ideals and values, and I was following someone who started talking about something with health, and then like doing a cleanse or something, and it just like, I don't know, turned me off of it. And then the way that she sort of conducts herself was just, I don't know, it was like, why am I aspiring to this? This is not something that I want to aspire to, and it doesn't inspire me. So unfollowing those people who don't inspire me. And sort of a sub-bullet under that is like no hate scrolling. No hate scrolling the people who trigger you in some way, because that just leads to like self-loathing and not a good place to be. So engaging with and following with people who inspire me and like make me want to be a better person. And then that leads into the other thing that's out for me, caring what other people think. For some reason, last year in particular, I don't know if it's because I was coming out of such a fragile state, but it just like, I felt like I was caring too much about what I post, how I post, who I'm posting for. I don't want any of that. In 2025, I should be doing things for me. And then that should attract the people that I want around me. And then the last thing that's out for 2025, I'm sad to say, is oat milk. I did not realize how much oat milk, like basically all of the oat milks, have some form of oil in them to make them emulsify, and that's why you get that nice thick creamy oat milk. And I'm pretty sure that was causing a lot of issues, and so I've been buying whole milk here in the UK, and you know what? My body seems to be doing fine with it, and which blows my mind as an American, because I cannot drink like milk in America. So back on the whole milk latte life, which has actually been very lovely, and you know what? It foams up and gives a nice silky foam for my latte. So oat milk is out in 2025. And so those are my ins and outs for 2025. I've been really slow to like think about resolutions and goals this year, and I think that's just because I am in it, like, it's, first off, the first of the year was in the middle of the week. No one wants to start anything on the middle of the week. And so this last week has sort of been like the 1st of January for me, and I've just been slowly writing down things that come to mind that I would like to achieve financially, with socials, with my career, and the personal brand tied to my career, and then things like hobbies and reading. So just taking it slow, and then starting to think about the trips that I want to take this year. I need to go back to Seattle at some point. I would like to do it in this first quarter. I need to take care of my storage unit, because God knows I've got some stuff that I need to get rid of, and they're raising my rent again for the 3rd time in a year, so I want that gone. And then there's a wedding in May, festival in July. Jay and I are taking a belated honeymoon. We never took one, so we need to plan that, and just like need to plan for all of that. So trying to take things slow and not overwhelm myself. And then there's some health stuff too that I think I need to go get like taken care of. I think I talked about this in the last video, but I need to establish some care here in the UK. And I think that probably falls under like radical self-care. Your health is also super important. And then need to start figuring out, I think at the end of this year, sort of what our plan is. Just lots of things to think about with the new year. And with my visa and all of that, so. So the plan for the rest of the day is, I think I'm going to do a little like try on with the rest of my Essentiel Antwerp stuff. Clean up my office a bit. I really want to make that French onion soup. And then hang out and relax. And place some orders because the dog needs food. So